specific examples of harmony, I think it might be helpful to work under a couple different assumptions about the nature of consciousness, just because those assumptions, when in place, make the puzzle especially vivid. So the way we set out the puzzle in the paper is we start with two assumptions.
Oh boy, here we go.
One is called dualism, the other is the causal closure of the physical. So dualism is just the view that experiences, by which I just mean kind of states of consciousness, that experiences are distinct from any physical states. So your
experiences are distinct from physical states. Now, as a Christian, you have to grant that experiences are indeed independent of physical states, because there is a sleight of hand happening when they talk about psychophysical harmony. The sleight of hand is that the definition of physical or matter will change based on the agent that you're talking about that is having an experience. Okay?
Hallelujah, we praise your name. Hallelujah, so worthy. Hallelujah, Lord, we lift you up. Hallelujah, you're worthy. Yes, you are. Hallelujah, we praise your name. Hallelujah, so worthy. Hallelujah, Lord, we lift you up. Hallelujah, you're worthy. Hallelujah, we praise your name. Hallelujah, so worthy. Hallelujah, Lord, we lift you up. Lord, we lift you up. Lord, we lift you up. Lord, we lift you up.
The new Congress is setting up committees, switching things around. The formal January 6th.
Look, what we told Democrat leadership when they went down this pathway of removing members from committee is basically saying you should not do that, because if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander.
As soon as House Republicans finally performed the basic task of electing a speaker, they started enacting their revenge against House Democrats, and it was long planned. After the House removed extremist Republicans Paul Gosar and Marjorie Taylor Greene from their committee assignments in 2021, Kevin McCarthy promised to get even. Now he tells Punchbowl News that, as Speaker, quote, he would block California Democrats Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell from spots in the House Intelligence Committee and move to take Minnesota Democratic Congresswoman Ilhan Omar off the Foreign Affairs Committee. And just to be clear about what this is actually all about, McCarthy's already fundraising off his promise to, quote, fire the Democratic members from their committees, with one reporter posting this screenshot of not one, not two, but three fundraising emails sent out in less than an hour on this topic. Joining me now is one of those members Kevin McCarthy plans to fire, Congressman Eric Swalwell, who in the last Congress served on the Judiciary, Homeland Security, and Intelligence committees. Congressman, first, I guess, would you feel better or worse if he was raising a lot of money off of these solicitations?
Chris, the only person who supports this is my wife, who is like, great, you're going to be home to change more diapers. I love it. But the truth is, Chris, it's purely vengeance. And I just want to walk your viewers through this, because this happened nearly 10 years ago. The FBI told me that someone who had been helping our campaign in a district with 35% Asian Americans may be working with the Chinese government. I did what I hope every one of my colleagues would do, which was to help.
Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Check, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3, test, 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 test. Like, check, so what's it all about? Where we gonna run? Maybe we can meet up on the sun. Question is devised for the love of virgin eyes. So something, something, something. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. Check, 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 check.
out with the ultra MAGA members of his caucus in exchange for what already looks like the weakest speakership in modern history. As Punchbowl News first reported, that secret add-on to the rules package that passed the House last night includes the most controversial concessions McCarthy made, quote, 3 seats on the Rules Committee for conservatives, freezing spending at fiscal year 2022 levels, a debt ceiling strategy, coveted committee assignments, and more. Now, Speaker Kevin McCarthy, a man you could certainly take at his word, right, wants you to know that, don't worry, no such deal exists. A figment of our collective imagination. In a closed-door conference meeting today, McCarthy reportedly told members that there is no secret 3-page addendum to the rules package. That, however, is a little hard to square with the fact that some members of Congress have actually seen the 3-page document. Ken Calvert of California, for example, member of the steering committee, told Axios, quote, "We're taking a look at it, we're just going through it," adding that he did not know if everybody received a copy. South Dakota Congressman Dusty Johnson claims he is not, quote, "at liberty to discuss the document in question," but said there's pretty widespread understanding of the context of it, which certainly doesn't sound like it's not existent. So here's the thing. The secret deal pretty clearly does exist, but it's more of a symptom than the cause of the problem. You see, it is a symptom of the fact that the Republican Party, in both its current MAGA incarnations and even its previous non-MAGA incarnations, does not have a broadly popular agenda. Republicans have lost the popular vote in every presidential election but one since the year 2000. And they had, quite notably, disappointing results in the last 2 elections, the midterm elections particularly last November, when they barely eked out a win in the House, defying historical precedent. And that was due, at least in part, to the fact they ran on a bevy of Fox News-friendly causes, catering to the most fervid delusions of their base. They ran on an agenda of election denialism, trans swimmers, rampant marauders taking over your cities, and Hunter Biden's explicit selfies. That agenda, that Fox News agenda, underperformed so severely that it left Kevin McCarthy in a dicey situation, one in which he does not have a large majority of 20 to 30 members. In fact, just 5 members can get together and essentially hold Kevin McCarthy hostage. That's what we saw play out last week. That is why we now have this secret deal, which shows how deep the rot is in the Republican Party. It is now time for Kevin McCarthy and his party to actually formulate a governing agenda, something other than, say, a special committee devoted to Hunter Biden's laptop. But again, the not-so-hidden dirty secret is that they have nothing new to offer. There is no big Republican policy vision for the...
Check, check, check. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, check. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Check, 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 check. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get your woman on the floor. Check, 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 check. Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. We're good.